Aloha, welcome to Talk Story, the longest running talk show on Maui. And I am just honored to have in the studio here today John Cruz. John is going to be playing up at Casanova.
Yes.
That for 2 nights, actually, right?
2 nights, yeah.
And
Thursday and Friday.
That's going to be awesome. With Tavana, huh?
Tavana's, he's a performer from Oahu. He plays solo mostly, and he's fantastic. Plays slide guitar, plays regular guitar, ukulele, banjo, and he's a fantastic performer. Very exciting performer and guitarist and friend.
Well, I think I'm going to go Facebook Live with you, too. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go live here. So this is really quite an honor because, I just love your music. I always have. And in 2008, you had a really, really, really super year. You got named some of the best, right? And the top singer-songwriter. And then you also had a documentary done on your life. And things really just were amazing. I mean, you were welcomed by some of the top name artists and recognized, and then you were in the compilation that got a Grammy. Mm-hmm. You've gotten how many Nahoku awards? You've gotten 2, 3.
Yeah,
Contemporary
lost.
Song of the
That's
Year.
Nothing compared to how many Hokus I lost.
Well, I thank you for reminding us because you know what? People have to remember that.
Yeah.
No, I know because I just did,
yeah.
and so I appreciate you saying that because it's honest and we only talk about the wins usually, don't we?
Yeah.
But for every win, there's some times that you lose that no one ever talks about. So that's unusual. You brought that up because you know what? In our Facebook era. If you ever lose, you're not supposed. You never hear people going and doing a post usually, right? It's just like I won this, I won that. It's like I got nominated, but you never hear the results. It's so funny.
I'll tell you what happens when you win Hokus or stuff like that. It sure takes longer to introduce you, boy.
That's so funny.
It used to be I'd introduce as Ernie's baby brother, John Cruz. And people would be like, who? Who's he? And now it's like, oh, this and that and the other thing. It's like, okay, already enough.
Well, I want to talk about the fact that you brought up Ernie. And we want to talk about your family. Mm-hmm. And because, it's been a hard year. Yeah. It's been a hard year with family. And family's family, and it goes so deep. The roots go so deep, right? Yeah. And you had to deal with a lot of that this year, and it's kind of interesting because you are going to be playing up at the rodeo, and your dad actually was up there sometimes and was involved in the rodeo, and actually was in the Makawao rodeo sometimes as well, right?
Yeah. He used to come a lot 4th of July weekend and sing at the rodeo and hang out with the paniolo and drinking okolehao and whatever else cowboys do.
Well, cowboys are, I just realized this. You were in the Rough Riders.
Right. Yeah.
So there's
sure was.
There's some kind of connection there, I guess, that goes back to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting. How long you were in with them? About a year and a half?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah. Good group of musicians to be with.
Yeah, it was great. Singing with them too was just the voices blending together was fantastic. Very difficult to get together because our schedules are so busy, and so that was one of the things that was difficult. Everybody was so busy. But when we did happen to get together and sing, it was a great thing.
Yeah. There was a lot of magic and talent there.
Yeah.
And things can happen when you get together with people at that level, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you get to people at that level, they all know, and you kind of get in that wavelength, and it's just like, wow, it's pretty amazing. But this last year, you had the death of 2 of your family members.
3, actually.
3?
My dad and both of my brothers, my oldest brother and my younger brother.
All within a year.
Yeah.
And when something like that happens, it goes deep. I mean, you can't, even one. I mean, I can't imagine having 3 family members died within a year. And you did a beautiful tribute at the Nahokus, which was very powerful. But for you, being the one that carries on, how did that affect you and change you? Or you still? I mean, you must still be processing it, right?
Still processing it. Yeah. The just one of the things that is difficult is Ernie and I. We had just started talking about playing more together, and doing like a family band, family album and stuff with my younger sisters and my other brothers and stuff. So that was difficult because everybody does their own thing, and you get together and play together, and it's special, of course, because you're family, and then everybody does their own thing. But we had seriously talked about doing something serious with the family, and so
with new music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you were already in that mindset.
Yeah. Yep.
Which would have been very powerful.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you get to that, and then all of these really tragic, heart-hitting situations occur to you, what's plan B? I mean, can you ever have a plan B? When something like that happens, do you think, well, maybe I can do this on my own, and they'll speak to me and come through, and I can do something to honor them? What do you do to do the backup plan?
Well, I still have 2 brothers and 7 sisters, so
there's
still a bunch of us left, and we
7 sisters.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know. That's a big family.
Yeah.
Oh my!
And most of us, sing and write and perform. So that'll be something that definitely.
You might do that as a. You might think of that, doing that with the
Sure,
family?
We do it informally a bunch all the time.
Yeah.
I'll show up at my sister and brother-in-law's gigs and sit in, and they'll show up on my gigs, or sometimes family parties are always, of course, everybody's there. And so, it's, the more, with the loss of my brothers and my dad, because really, the 3 of them, besides myself, were the ones who were really super involved in music, all in.
Right.
So,
and had big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me, it, of course, there were huge influences on me. My brother, Ernie, being my older brother, and my dad, huge influences. And it was nice to be able to nurture my brother Guy when he started singing, because he started singing late in his life. He was the youngest boy, and he didn't want to sing growing up because he didn't want to be like his brothers or like his dad. So he was actually a break dancer.
You're kidding?
No.
But you actually danced too when you were in East Coast. You spent time in and you danced there.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
some dancing.
Part of why my knee's screwed up right now.
I'll just cut away here. You had to have a knee replacement.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
3 weeks ago. So it's healing up good.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty busy schedule still, so it's kind of trying to accommodate that.
Yeah.
So
I had to slow down for a little while, and
I think we got a woman here who's helping you do that, right?
Helping me slow down.
How do you do that? How do you get him to ever slow down?
Ever so gracefully.
Because when you're a dancer, oh gosh, remember Jackson Brown's a friend of yours. Remember that song you wrote for a dancer?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful song?
Beautiful. He's a fantastic songwriter, Jackson. And a beautiful human being, by the way. Jackson's just a wonderful, wonderful person.
Remember that concert where there was David Crosby and Graham Nash, and you opened in the courtyard?
Yeah.
And I happen to have played a lot of Jackson Brown's music over the air. When I was a DJ at K-Rock, when the Late for the Sky, remember that cover with the 55 Chevy, and it was a Magritte takeoff? Yeah. Well, I was a DJ at K-Rock, and Howard Burke, his manager, called me and said, we need a Chevy for the cover. Can you play some music and find someone who has a Chevy? Well, like 10 people called, and they got the cover Chevy from when I was on the air there at K-Rock.
Right on.
But I've always loved Jackson Brown, and Jackson Brown came out because he was going to play at that gig also.
Yeah.
And I saw him. No one recognized him. He kind of walked over to where you look into the courtyard. And I went over to say hi because I've interviewed him a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to just kind of say hi and everything. He says, isn't John Cruz amazing? He said, this guy is just so good. He says, I can never get enough of listening to him. And he went on. And you have people who are huge fans of yours who are like that. You've been on compilation albums, and you had that documentary made where people honored you, right?
Yeah, it was humbling for sure.
When was that documentary? That was about 7 years ago or so.
Yeah, maybe about 10 years ago. It was right around the time my album came out. One of these days came out. The documentary, I think, came out right after the album.
Mm-hmm. And that was done by...
That album I recorded at Jackson's studio. He was gracious enough to let me record the record in his
California?
Studio. Yeah, in Santa Monica.
Wow, amazing.
Which is a fantastically comfortable, professional place, and just really inviting feeling. Like no pressure, and he was so gracious with his time. And
well, he loves you. He thinks you're awesome. Yeah. I'm sure for him, he felt it was an honor too, because he really thinks you're fantastic. I noticed that there, besides crutches, I noticed there's something else sitting over there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're in so much pain. You had this knee replacement. Are you up to playing it all?
Yeah, of course. Always up for that.
How cool is that? Gosh, guys, we're going to get to be able to hear John Cruz. What are you playing here? What kind of instrument is this? It's a
takamine, classical guitar.
Oh, listen how beautiful that sounds. Wow. Wow, that's lovely.
It'll sound even better once I tune it up.
Yeah? Oh, that's so pretty, that one. I don't think I've heard you play classical before. Don't you usually use steel string guitars?
Yeah. This new record that's coming out soon, this new album that I'm trying to finish right now, I played mostly all classical, actually. I played almost all nylon, yeah.
I didn't know you have a new one. When's that one?
I'm hoping to get it out. I'm going to have a single or two out soon, and then I'll have the record out by August or September.
How wonderful is that?
Yeah, just trying to finish up the last few songs.
Wow, how exciting. You're recording where?
I recorded the record in Nashville, most of it.
Wow.
Over the course of about 2 years.
With Nashville players?
With Nashville players.
So it's going to be a whole different thing, because Nashville players are like hot.
It definitely has a different element than my previous records, and I'm really excited about the record because it's bringing definitely a new sort of element and a new tonalities to my music.
New songs?
Yeah. New songs, yeah. Most of the record was co-written with my dear friend Mark Hirschler, who has songs on both my records. He's one of my musical soulmate brothers from Massachusetts.
Wow.
Who I met years ago, and recorded a few records with him, and have been continuing to record and write music with him over the years.
Oh, wonderful. So it's going to be called?
It Is What It Is.
It is what it is. Yeah. That kind of is the tone of what your life has been like.
Yeah.
All right. What's this called?
This is called The Law Can't Touch Us.
Ah.
I ain't getting very far, hanging out in bars, sleeping in most of the day. Can't wait for resurrection, all those little men from Mars. Time is running out, I've got to get away. I'm losing my mind and wasting my time. A friend gave me a call, said let's go out in the country where the law can't touch us at all. Stevie got pulled over driving down the road. He landed his ass in jail. They took him downtown just for being brown. Now my baby's like $25 for bail. And Johnny said, oh, I know a place we can go where at night you hear the wild thing call. Way out in the country where the law can't touch us at all. Yeah, out in the country where the law can't touch us. Darling Sarah, don't you worry for me. I've gotta get out. I'm fighting for my sanity. The way I'm headed, I'm gonna end up in jail. Come on with me, honey. We don't need no money. Way out in the country where the law can't touch us at all. I've been stuck in a rut, you know I just can't get enough. Sometimes I wish I could just take 5. Gotta scrounge and make a buck, yeah, I'm running out of luck. In search of what it takes to keep my soul alive. I'm losing my mind, yeah, wasting my time. A friend gave me a call, said let's go out in the country. Way out in the country. Yeah, let's go out in the country where the law can't touch us at all. They're trying to take me down, out in the country where the law can't touch us. They follow me around. Come on with me, honey, we don't need no money. I gotta get out of town, out in the city, hey, hey, way out in the country. Let's go out in the country where the law can't touch us at all.
Yay! Oh, I love that. Yay! That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the new one,
That's
huh?
going to be on the new one, yeah.
I like that. So did you do that with the band down there? Did you have studio guys in with that, or?
That one, we did that one. We did that one in Nashville. I recorded 2 versions of it in Nashville, but they didn't quite turn out. So I re-recorded it here in Hawaii with some other people, and that'll be the version that's going to get released.
Isn't that nice? That's a great one.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah.
Do you know, like when you did Shine On and when you did the other ones, you know, did you know that those songs were going to be hits? I mean, you have the ability. I have to just say, I appreciate songwriting. I try to write songs. I write songs, but it takes a lot to be able to know what's going to be a song. And I'm just curious if when you write a song, if you have a feeling which one's going to make it as a hit.
Yeah, you always, you know, they're all your babies, so you all want them to do well, you know what I mean? You want them to get, you know, to be healthy and happy and be able to communicate and have, you know, beautiful social lives and be supported by their friends and everything.
But there's a lot that get lost.
There's a lot that get lost, and but you can really tell because once you start sharing the songs, you start performing the songs, you really see which ones connect with people like right away. You know, and so like you know, Shine On and stuff. Like I had been. Before I recorded the record, I had already been performing that song with my brother, them, the Kyle Crater Boys. When I got back from from the States, I had already been playing with Kyle Crater Boys, and I was playing that song, Island Style, a few others, and you can just tell which ones really,
beyond the applause,
resonate with people.
Beyond the applause, you can get the vibe of people connecting.
Yeah,
with it, huh?
exactly. You know, you can feel which ones. Like this song, Law Can't Touch Us.
Feels good.
Feels good. People are always, respond well to it. There's a few others that I think on this record, most of the songs seem to be translating well with people, you know, and it's a whole bunch of different styles of songs. Really, I'm really it's been one of the criticisms from people in the past is that my songs are all over the place, just like
I didn't know that.
You don't get like it's like one type of song, and so a song that people can identify you with and then expect that type of song from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess when you get to a certain level, people, I mean, you think of Adele and you think of people like that. It's like, okay, you want that one song that's going to over and over again.
Type of thing, that same vibe that's going to come through. And with this song, with this record, I've got stuff that's a little more adventurous, I'd say. I've got stuff that's
well, you got to keep yourself interested.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
That's the main thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and inspiration, you can't just tell inspiration when it comes knocking that, like, well, I don't know if that's the same style right? I mean, because
Right.
you can't turn down what comes to you.
Exactly.
Because if you do, it just kind of, you don't get it. I mean, I found that if I don't write down and use it, regardless of whether anyone's going to hear or see it or do anything, that if I don't use it, then I kind of block that flow of what comes in,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. Then you have all this blockage that's going on of all these.
You can't
things,
limit
Yeah.
inspiration. So
Yeah.
what other song did you love that just really sang to you? And you probably get it with your guitar when you're sitting down with your guitar, or do you just get it kind of as a kind of a melody or a few words first?
Yeah. Like I said, I've been most of these songs have been co-written,
Oh, really?
and so I have a piece of something that I think resonates. I share it with my, we get down, we share the songs together, and then see where that takes us, and a bunch of them just and me and Mark, we go through when we write. It's like that's what we're doing. We're writing. I fly up to Massachusetts.
You get some words
2-3 times a year. I would fly up there and spend a week, maybe 10 days, and literally the whole time I'm there, we're just focusing on songwriting.
Interesting.
Like from the time he picked me up at the airport in Boston, like 2.5 hour drive out to Amherst. We got a little guitar in the
I've
car.
been to Amherst. It's a beautiful small town.
Beautiful,
lovely small town.
Yeah.
Amherst. So it's
Northampton.
interesting. So you do your writing that way.
Yeah, and Mark's just phenomenal. He's just a genius guitar player. Mark Herschler, genius guitar player and incredibly inspiring songwriter, and so we really are able to bounce our ideas off each other really well.
If that works, that is such a blessing. To have that, because you kind of know the way each other work. It goes beyond words even. You just kind of get that spark of creation between the two of you.
Yeah. And then sometimes, you come up with a song and you go, wait a minute, what kind of song is this? This is something that I would ever sing. But it's a cool song, and so you finish writing it, and just take it as what it is. This is a good song. I'm not going to sing it. You know what I mean? You try to find somebody who will, or someone who it inspires, and we've gotten our songs to other people too.
Well, that's wonderful too. But we have time for one more song, and what's interesting? I'm sure Caillou, did you notice his energy level change after he sang?
Yeah.
After you started singing, immediately and so that there's something in you that just resonates with singing, and I think you probably prefer singing than talking. Am I right?
Yeah. Here's one. There was nobody busting, nobody dead, nobody went down for what somebody else said. Ain't nobody know what nobody did, and it is what it is, what it is. There was nobody busting, nobody dead, nobody went down for what somebody else said. Ain't nobody know what nobody did, and it is what it is, what it is. Well, I used to be white, I used to be rich, till they caught me down in Chinatown, scratching my itch. Now I'm up in the valley and I'm doing a stretch. It is what it is, what it is. It ain't alright, it ain't all wrong. It just is what it is, what it is. Hey. And I was up for 3 days, trying to relax. Watching TV, it was watching me back. But keeping up with the Joneses ain't where it at. And it is what it is, what it is. And it ain't all this, and it ain't all that. It just is what it is, what it is. Hey. Now I'm on my blanket, out on my shoes, living down the beach with nothing to lose. But I ain't complaining, I know the rules, and it is what it is, what it is. It ain't alright, it ain't all wrong. It just is what it is, what it is. And it ain't all this, it ain't all that. It just is what it is, what it is. Yeah, it is what it is, what it is. It is what it is, what it is. Ain't nobody busted, nobody dead, nobody went down for what somebody else said. Ain't nobody know what nobody did, and it is what it is, what it is. It is what it is, what it is. I said it is what it is, what it is.
Yay! I love that. That's another hit. That's the title track off your new CD.
Yeah.
So it'll be out in time for the Nahokus next year.
Oh, yeah.
I want a copy. I want to hear that. It's so beautiful. Yeah. It's wonderful. What a treat to hear you. You know, I'm a huge fan. I really am. No, I love. I've gone and paid for your shows. Remember back at Stella Blues days
Blues,
when I used to go sit there in the audience and I'd pay for it to go in. But to be able to see you here in person playing is just a treat. And people can see you up close and intimate now at Casanova's. June 29th at 9:30. And with special guest Havana. How cool is that? And then again on June 30th.
Yep.
And it's just $20, folks. That's
Thursday
a steal.
and Friday night.
What a cool deal.
4th of July, rodeo weekend.
It'll be party. It'll be great. I think it's just wonderful. We're so excited. And I can't thank you enough for coming in. You've been so generous with your time and your music and just adore what you do. You're so talented. So thank you.
All right.
And a big aloha.
All right.